Let's continue playing Dwarf Fortress. Let me fondle my microphone for a moment. That's an important part of the pre-stream experience, is to fondle your microphone. Make sure you're doing it at home, too. So, I'm planning some stuff. I'm going to get some of these trees marked to cut while I can. For some reason, they weren't hauling these logs in to the storage facility. But I'm going to get my moat refigured. Although, since I'm doing this, I should also here. Going to be diverting the river through here. There we go. Actually, is that dumb? That is, in fact, dumb. Don't do that yet. So, this is going to be mined out. So, I'll just wait until after it's mined. I'm going to be expanding my moat and building an exterior wall, and I'll have a kind of captured part of the river on the inside of my island, and I'll be able to use that for water and just fishing and stuff, but definitely going to finish off this and have this be more of a defense. The wall on the outside is mostly to keep archers from shooting their projectiles in. I could use them to produce further defenses. But we're digging our moat here. Once the river is completely frozen, we'll be able to finish digging it. Getting some plots planned over here for outside crops. And I'm going to be digging a training facility here. Because we're going to try to do elk birds. Can't keep the elk birds in the chicken coops because they require pasture to live. And down in here, I've ordered these metal worker shops to be removed because, okay, setting up some chests and cabinets in here to set up an armory so that I can begin training some dwarves. And here we have our smithy. We're going to be digging that out. And I need to make a library. Where should I stick a library at? I have some bookcases lined up to make. Let's go ahead and make those out of mudstone. And to set our dwarves to continue doing stuff. Many of them are going to immediately rush off because they are putting cabinets in bedrooms and should be hauling stone. Oh, and they're building walls. Might need mudstone. There should be plenty of mudstone here. Now, we've got lots of mudstone. What must have happened was a guy went to go pick up a mudstone to use it, and then the moment he went to go use it, somebody else claimed the mudstone. Okay, so here... if I'm building a divert, I just need to build a wall here. I could build it out of ice, but that's not particularly what I want to do. Okay. Some of my dwarves not happy about being outside. So this says ice, but it should be sand. There shouldn't be water there. Looks like that's not freezing, it's just emptying out. I should definitely dig this out. Okay. My miners will get around to it eventually. Okay, our bookcase got built. Let's pick a spot for a bookcase. Why not here? So we'll stick a bookcase. We'll stick the bookcases here. Why not? And we'll also need some tables. Yeah, we got lava finished last time. It kind of dominated everything. Okay, we're going to set up a meeting zone here. And we're going to set up a library, because we have books just crapping up the depot. So... up I goobered it. I do want that little spot to be... That's the one bad thing about activity zones with... dang it, I just removed this temple as well. Well, if I go... It's one bad thing about having your rooms be these squirrely shapes is... you never quite know where you should be at. One thing you can do is go here, and then I know from here down I should remove. Okay, that's more than good enough. So this is going to be a meeting zone. We'll assign location, a library, the Bastion of Boats. You want it so only citizens are welcome. What are my digging dwarves doing? They're digging down here. You can see vomit, where, somebody was outside and didn't like it. Let's go ahead and set that to be dug out. Okay. Go ahead and set all this crap to be dumped as well. Although, maybe not. Not yet. Magma is an excellent thing to have dominate your conversation. Let's finish walling off of this. I should have some slate blocks made. Slate should be the same color as these, so it should be appealing. Okay. Okay, this is dig. I should set a hotkey up for my forges. So let's do that. Hotkey 6. Lava is a good thing to have dominate your discussions. Okay, it's still early winter, so I shouldn't have any of this garbage falling out from underneath. So let's go ahead and plan this. I still want the river to flow. But I don't want it to flow where it's currently flowing. What's the plan for the fort this time? I want to be conquerors. This one, sure, slate blocks work just fine for this. This out. What are my diggers doing? Oh, they're probably digging, yeah, this. Okay. And this should allow the river to continue underground around my fortress and not be too unsettled. There they are. want to build a floor here out of just whatever. Yeah, the mudstone that is nearby will work. And then we'll finish walling off the islet with this. Now I can finish digging that out. Now our defenses are fairly secure. Although I should remove all of these ramps. And I may be forced to build a road under here to keep trees from forming. Alright. So we've got a dandy little pond where I cut off a section of this river in the middle of our sort of moated fortress entrance. And the river will continue underground. One thing I should remember how to do is orders. No, designation. Traffic. Set traffic areas. Restricted traffic area. Doing this so that my dwarves will not walk on top of the ice. Designation, set traffic area, restricted traffic area. That is because if they are walking on top of the ice when it freezes, they will instantly fall and begin drowning, or when it thaws. And if they happen to be in the water when it freezes, they'll be encased in ice and instantly die. Although, DH. Let's go designate orders normal. I need to get rid of this ice as well, because it'll just flop out. Now let's build a bridge. That raises, and we'll build this one also out of slate blocks. Okay, people are using the library. That's nice. I should shut the traitor gate. Don't repeat, just do it. Wonder why nobody's mining out. There they go. Why won't they remove these ones? Okay. Now I can also build another little bridgey on top of my staircase down into my moat. And that will block access to my moat. until I want it to be accessed. Also, I should mine these out. Yeah, get rid of that ice. So now my fortress is fairly well defended. And I have a captured little bit of river. Okay. Now it's time to go to these chests here and set this as... yeah, that's going to be a barracks. The stupid necromancer is still here. But here's the first thing we're going to do. I'm going to build a door here. And I forgot that I wanted two little walls here. And we're going to set this area as a pen and pasture and an animal training area. Now we'll hit B for build, J for cage. And we are going to build... if you hit X on here, you'll be able to see the more detailed. I want to get some elk birds going. We're going to train all of them and then slaughter most of them. We'll keep 2 males and 2 females. And once they are trained enough to be semi-wild, they can be dragged to the butcher shop and dispatched. I think I'll also do that to the mole. We'll kill that mole as well. Actually, no. Nix that. The mole will be used for other purposes. So, the reason of this little doors hallway here is this is going to be an airlock. Only, instead of being an airlock for smog, like the one down here is, it's going to be an airlock for animals. Both the doors are going to be set as not pet passable. So if any animal tries to sneak out while one of the doors is opened, they will not be able to open the other one. Yeah, we have mole plans. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to animals. And these elk birds, we are going to set them to be trained by any trainer. And I will look at Dwarf Therapist real quick to see if I even have any trainers. We do. We also succeeded in having a legendary armorer happen, so we'll be trying for a weaponsmith soon. So now dwarves will come into the training area here and begin training these animals. Actually, no, I marked that mole for training when I do not want it to be trained. Okay, they've come to train the elk birds. Did I make weapons of some variety? I made iron battle axes. So, it's time to form a military. Although before I forget, build a lever. We'll build the lever in here. We'll make it out of one of the nice mechanisms. I guess that's as nice as it's going to be. And we'll connect that up to the moat bridge. So that we can lower the gates, so to speak. We're also going to set an activity zone out here and jam a puppy down outside to be our eyes and ears. So even though these look like ice tiles, they really aren't. They're going to be clay or loam. There's also ice here, ice boulders, which has peculiar properties. None of them really that exploitable. But we have a nice little defendable position. It's a little cockeyed because of various choices I made. But it's very defensible. Okay, let me look at my elk birds. The elk birds have been trained. Man, already. Which means we want to let them out of their cages. You do that by going to in. We're going to set all the elk birds in here. Butcher that thing. I saw a reindeer cow. Yeah. So we are going to let the elk birds just do whatever for now, but we're going to keep 2 female elk birds and 2 male elk birds. The rest are going to be slaughtered. I had to build a road here to make that plot work. So, let's set ratweed, prickleberries, purple amaranths, radish, kaniwa, chicory, prickleberries, ratweed. Just get some farming going. And here's the thing we have to do. We gotta mark these cages for dumping. And then undump the cages, because the cages have seeds in them, because they tamed the elk birds by feeding them food. Okay, on to this part. First, we're going to get some forges set, or some First, we're going to get some smelters set up. We'll have 3 smelters, a glassworks. Actually, hold on. I'm putting these in the wrong spots. Here. So 3 smelters and a glassworks, and then 3 metal shop workshops. So you want to go to build E for furnace, and we want to build magma smelter. And I've said this before, but the light green areas of this little 3x3 square are pass-throughable, but the dark green ones are not. And one of these 9 squares has to have magma underneath it for a magma-powered furnace to work. And the center can't be obstructed, apparently. Didn't know that. Anyways, the easy way to do this is to put the dark green over the magma hole. That way, your dumb smelters won't fall into the magma and die. We also want to make a magma glass furnace, which has the same rules. And then under workshops, we want V for magma forge. And they follow the same rules, but the dark green spots are on the sides rather than on the tops. And then I'll leave myself a space to do whatever with. So, time to do this. I'm going to set up a DB dump. All of this nonsense. This is going to waste some time, but I will accept that. And we're going to go pile, stone. And then over here we're going to set up a big old stone pile. And this stone pile accepts non-spherolite ores. No, I fucked that up. Don't want spherolite, because there's a bunch of it here, and I don't really want it. No gypsum, no kaolinite, no calcite, no alabaster, none of these. Just lignite and the flux stones. And we'll allow 15 wheelbarrows for that. Did I ever make wheelbarrows? I did. That was me planning ahead. And then we're going to make another pile. This one's going to be a bar block. And this bar and block pile will not take anything but coal. But takes iron. It takes metal blocks and metal bars. And to be nice, I'll make a pile for furniture here. And then set that up in this hallway. And this will only accept sandbags. So now, I want to claim all this garbage. Settings for this. Turn off sandbags here. Turn on boxes and bags. Find my bar block. Turn off coal and metal bars. And we should be good to go. Did I accidentally destroy my wood burning furnace? No, I didn't. But I turned it off. I do not know why nobody is collecting this wood. No, 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 no. He's pulling that sponge out. Well, I guess the sponge died. So that's okay. What if I do... spring came on this side faster than it did for the other. Where did that dwarf go? Was he faster than I thought, or did he get swept away? That shouldn't be enough water to drown in. Okay, there he is. So that ice that was on the ground here has melted, but it'll evaporate because it's outside. I wonder if I shouldn't set up a dump for this wood. Just so they bring it inside. He's hauling it to the corpse pile. Not sure why. Well, I know why. Not sure why the sponge died, because it was a zombie sponge. Yeah, I'll set up this wood to be dumped. And we'll see if anybody does it. Okay. Let's go to our magma smelters and set up some smelt hematite ore. Operations. What else can we make? Make a coke from lignite, sure. Don't quite want to begin producing steel yet. But when we do, we're going to want to produce a lot of it. Just collect sand. That's all good. Okay, let's look at Dwarf Therapist. We're going to go to highest mutable skill. All these wieners in the Armorsmith one that have Armorsmith 0, we're turning on Weaponsmith for them. And then all these wieners who are in Craft Bone Stone Wood are also going to be set for this. For Weaponsmith. And what we're going to do is we are going to have them craft iron bolts on repeat. Because even low quality bolts are very useful. And we'll give my weaponsmiths things to train. Up and instantly became spring. My map is kind of straddling two biomes. One thing I should do is do the same thing I did before. Designate restricted. Restrict this. And restrict this. That'll convince them to go over the bridge. Or go around. That also works. One thing I'm going to set up is I'm going to take a quick gander at Dwarf Therapist to see how good of a gem cutter and gem setter I have. I have no gem cutter, but I have a good gem setter. So let's find a wiener in our craft bone stone wood pile. And I want to sort them by who could be a good gem cutter. This guy, who is a potash maker. You're being promoted. You're no longer going to weaponsmith. You are going to gem cut. The reason being, there's a neat trick I can set up. Down here in my glass furnace, I'm going to set up a repeating task to make raw green glass. I'm going to make 1 to 5 of those. And then up, if I have a jeweler's workshop set up, which I do, we can set up... Once I have some green glass, I'll be able to set up a job to repeatedly cut green glass which counts as a low-value gemstone. And lots of water flowing. I might want to set up some more bedrooms, but I'm putting off the military long enough. I need to just do that. That'll just fall through soon enough. I don't need to worry about it. Okay. We'll hit N for nobles. And we want to set up a militia commander. We have some leaders to choose from. Let's look at dwarf therapist. First I can read to see if anybody has become a weaponsmith. Yep, we have a few. We had one guy become a weaponsmith. Hooray. And we have a lot of people who are in the random page, which for now I'll turn them off, and then later I can turn them back on, and if their weaponsmith becomes higher than their armorsmith, they'll be more likely to become weaponsmiths. But let's sort by nothing, and we'll look for Addis Tunchamb, who is one of our miners. She could be an okay military leader, but she's a lady, which means I don't want her to be in a melee squad. She can be in a crossbow squad, but I'm not set up for crossbows yet. So let's look at Dumed Bomrekuskash. Where's Dumed at? Doomred, also a lady. Okay, how about Urvad Advilvolkar? Urvad. Urvad very rarely develops negative feelings, calm demeanor, does not feel lustful, occasionally overindulges, is stubborn, tends to avoid physical confrontations. That doesn't matter all that much. Dreams of mastering a skill, and that skill is realized. So this dwarf is better at... he is a natural marks dwarf, but I'm going to throw that all away, and we're going to make Urvad our military commander. Who has most kills is Kogan Vutabakab, who has killed 5 humans, but has 6 kills listed. Notable kill: Medtab Living Gates, the Circled Crafts Demon. Date 488. So this person murdered a demon. That's incredibly unlikely. She's often nervous. Not sure how she killed them, considering she... oh, siege operator. Okay. So she probably killed the demon with a ballista bolt. Anyways, Urvad. Urvad is going to be our militia commander. Which means I want to tell Urvad to stop being a miner. Because you don't want your military dwarves to also be miners. Because the pick kind of takes up the same slot as the weapons do. Which means I'm going to take another worthless dwarf and tell them to become a miner. Or tanner, sure. Although you have, tanning at 5, not leatherworking. Okay. Urvad, you're now militia commander. And we hit M for military. We have militia commander. We'll create squad with no uniform. The clarity of slings. And now, I'm going to go into Dwarf Therapist and start picking out dwarves that are reasonable to put in a melee squad. So let's go ahead and look at Dwarf Therapist. I've got it sorted by sex, because I want male dwarves in my melee squads. It's unfortunate that female dwarves aren't as good. Which they perform exactly the same. It's just if they have a baby, they'll take the baby with them wherever they go, and if you deploy your squad out to go murder some goblins, they'll take their baby with them. Their baby will inevitably be killed by the goblins, and then they'll be very unhappy. I have no axe dwarves, so let's look for ones who are skilled in the use of armor. Although, okay, this dwarf. We have one female dwarf I could stick in our melee squad. And that is because A-tier Lycotadag here, who is our bookkeeper, happens to be asexual. Which means she will never have babies to have -1 in student. That would be because these ones are babies. Like Likot's Zimfaditar here, 6 months old. Until they become 12, they are still children. So the dwarves mature at the age of 12. Yes, there are asexual and gay and bisexual dwarves. We have a few here. Momil Irumashir here is gay. No, bisexual, forgive me. They've expressed interest in showing, in programming in other gender manifestations in the game, but the main problem has been implementing it, I believe is what Toady said. Which, considering the spaghetti code of this game, I'm not surprised. So yeah, we'll stick A-tier Lycotadag into our squad. She's not very strong, but isn't weak. And is very tough. She's tough and has lots of endurance. So she'll be a fine dwarf in our military. Plus, she has experience as a siege dwarf, which doesn't actually help that much. So let's stick this dwarf in. We'll go here and search for Lico, the bookkeeper. You're in the squad. Yeah, a nursery function would be quite useful. I mean, dwarves live a weird communal socialist life right now anyways. Why wouldn't they do that with their child care? We have a good spear dwarf. Slow to anger, does not often feel lustful, can handle stress, incredibly brave in the face of looming danger. Okay, this spear dwarf is going to be in the squad, and I'll special order a spear for Mumaz. I'll probably set up a spear squad later. But this person will be happy to be in the military because they are a peasant. So as soon as they become a spear dwarf, they'll be a little happier with their lot in life. What does it mean to have 0 agility? Means that the skills related to agility will be pretty poor. So Likot here, who has 0 agility, is very clumsy. Is likely to dodge into holes. Is likely to just be poor at dodging in general, but still, and probably a bad shot. Like you don't want them to be in a crossbow squad. Dwarves are kind of racially biased to be not very agile. You see, we have many more dwarves under 50, which is the baseline, than above 50, and that's because just dwarves have short, stumpy little legs. Missing limbs might affect it. Let's see if I can search by this. There's the Crutch Walker skill, which you can only level up by walking with a crutch. Because when you first begin walking with a crutch, your movement speed will be very slow, and then as you level up the Crutch Walker skill, you'll regain your former speed. And you usually use a crutch if you're missing a leg or have very injured body parts. So let's sort by armor user next. This person, 3 discipline, 3 armor. Ficot Kagithrakust. I'm sad that this part, there's a pop-up menu that OBS doesn't pick up that describes their personality. Is often cheerful, can handle stress, doesn't mind a little discord, quite confident when undertaking specific ventures. Okay, this person is an animal caretaker, and Ficod is going to get in the squad. Let's look at our next one. Zulgar. Oh, here's another asexual dwarf. Kivish here. Kivish is pretty weak, but that probably won't matter that much. He is sad and dejected, more likely to slip into depression and be stricken by melancholy. I prefer not to employ dwarves in the military that are more likely to become sad. I don't know if that helps or not. But Zulgar often feels lustful, takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful, finds humor in most situations. You're in the squad, Zulgar. Zuglar, forgive me. Yeah, sadness has no place on the battlefield. See, Ashvi Rushanismak tends to be a little tight with resources, accept favors without developing a sense of obligation. You're in the squad, Ashy. Although your stats kind of suck, so if I can find someone better than you. Kivashir is a skilled swords dwarf, though. Okay, so I've got most of the armor. Oh man, here's a very excellent hammer dwarf, but she's a lady. She's strong-ish. If she was an axe dwarf, I would use her. So now that I've basically gone through my armor users, I'm just going to sort by strengths. Here's something funny. Our second strongest dwarf, okay, the third strongest dwarf in the entire fortress is a baby. Erush Zonison is 5 months old and has 92 strengths. It's a very powerful baby. Here's Indok Vakobabek, who's also asexual. Can easily fall in love, prefers everyone to live in harmoniously, is a friendly individual, has a little interest in joking around. Okay. You're in the squad, Indok. You're a fish cleaner by profession. Let's look at Imush. Rarely feels is quick to anger. I do not like putting anger dwarves in my military. This next one, though, Lorbam Atheliton. Oh, he's very clumsy, but very strong, so it balances off. Lorbam, you're in the squad. You're a milker by profession. How nice. Tun Tabarubuk. It often feels discouraged, so you're getting skipped. Zuntir Rigapithnaz is quick to anger. Zazit Tristames often feels discouraged. Tacid Nikadaton. You're in the squad. You're a woodcutter, so I'll turn woodcutting off for you. But you're in the squad. Because woodcutters carry around an axe with them, that counts as a uniform. So if you try to assign a uniform to them, sometimes it causes bugs. Zulgar Nishligzundan. Zulgar already put in the squad. Olen Avuzagig. Completely helpless in stressful situation. Not doing that. Urvad. I already put Urvad in the squad. I did. Fath. You're going in the squad. Okay, I need one more dwarf. Is it going to be Vutok Nemerketin? No, because he's my current best weaponsmith. How about Erush Sibrekmoral? He's really happy and enthusiastic. Okay, not you. Well, maybe I should stick Vutok in there. I shouldn't. Not until I have a better weaponsmith. I guess it's going to be Likot Kimeta, whatever. I didn't want to use him because... Okay, he's my best gym setter, so I'm not going to use him either. He also has 0 agility, which means he's very clumsy. We can make and use spears. One of my dwarves is going to be... I'm going to special order a spear for him. Most of these are going to be axe dwarves, but he is going to get a spear. Okay, this guy. Saksul Dusminagrid. You're in the squad, Dusminagrid. Okay, let's rename this squad. To the Clarity of Axes, because they are for the most part going to be axe users. And let's hit N for uniforms. We're just going to remove these uniforms because they're very bad. It's going to be X Squad. So we'll hit capital A to add armor, and they will get a mail shirt, a breastplate, and a cloak. They shall get leggings and greaves. They shall get a helm. They shall get gauntlets. They shall get high boots. They shall get a shield, and they shall get a battle axe. Yeah, Clarity of Axes featuring 1 spear user. And we'll hit material, and we're going to just tell them to use metal. Obviously not the cloak, but everything else will just be metal. And except for shields, which are going to be wood, and I'm going to specify the battle axes as iron, so they don't go grabbing my copper battle axes my woodcutters use. So that's the X Squad uniform. Hit U for supplies. I'm going to tell the Clarity of Axes to not carry any food, because the last time they carried food, they would just leave their food everywhere and it would rot. And because it was owned food, nobody else could touch it. But they'll carry drinks. Don't need anything else, so let's hit S for the schedule. Here's a very complicated page that we're going to sort of gloss over. So this is their month-by-month schedule. We'll hit E to edit order, and I'm going to have 7 of them train. I'll copy that order and paste it over every other month. And that'll mean 7 out of these 10 dwarves will be training. And now I need to go to here, and they can store their equipment here and train. And now I need to hit M and A for alerts. We'll go to the active/training alert, and we will activate the Clarity of Axes. Yeah, hate to choke on the rotting miasma of half-eaten military rations, whose owners I can name. Let's go to the forges, and turn off iron bolts here. Actually, I'll just have whoever make a iron spear. That way that, I can make a steel spear later and make it to order to give to my fella. People are going out to pick up the wood. That's nice. Ah, there we go. Indok Vabaukamet et al. Have become a recruit. Somebody became a wrestler or spear dwarf because they happen to have levels in both of those skills. And they are heading to the barracks to go train. Let's go to our leather worker, which I probably set up somewhere. And let's order 20 leather water skins. Go ahead and claim this stuff. So there might be wood in here. Let me make sure they are taking the wood to the correct spot. We will follow this person and watch them where they're going to take the wood. Okay, they did the right thing. Also, we saw the river thaw out immediately. It does happen. And that's why I didn't want anybody walking over it. Danger rooms no longer really work, no. Setting up a danger room will mostly just murder your dwarves. But traditional training is much better than it used to be. Also, I should mine this out to let a 3 full wide thing. My little diversion in the river has worked. So I've got a captured bit of river. Okay, they are taking the wood where I want them to, though. That water in the moat will eventually go away. Okay. Let's make a few more bedrooms. But these bedrooms are not going to be for citizens. I've got some long-term visitors who don't really have a place to sleep right now. Yeah, some of the dwarves just walking through the shallow water. They probably won't drown. So you don't want to fill your moat with water, because they're starting to be unable to collect the wood. I'm just going to forbid this stuff so that my fisher dwarves won't get themselves drowned trying to collect it. Okay, river is back in functioning fashion. You can see a whole lot of shad, which makes sense. Spring is when the shad are in season. Ooh, I see a porcupine. I'll be back in one moment, maybe by the time the loading is over. Okay, got myself a drink. The saving lag is still happening. So, our fort is much more defensible now. Before, we kind of had the problem where anybody who wanted to try to sneak into our fortress, something like a werewolf or were creature, could basically approach us from any angle, but now there are multiple layers of defense, where they have to approach from a specific angle, and they should be distracted. Now, I forget. We didn't get any bears from the humans yet. Okay. What's all this stuff? Nervous tissue, rat remains, giant fly mangled stuff, giant sponge. There's a guard dog, but he's not chained. I have a 1x1 pasture for him. Let me quickly look at Dwarf Therapist. Let's look at it. Let's see if anybody is unhappy. Yeah, we have a few unhappy dwarves. Okay, mostly just one. One with 7.9 stress, and the reason being, he was annoyed at getting rained on, so... Turn off wood hauling. And we'll go ahead and turn off burial and refuse hauling as well. That'll mean that this guy won't ever go outside. Hopefully he won't do it to dump. But I don't know why my dwarves weren't carrying the wood from outside into my wood stockpile. There's like wood here, right? I can't really search. Mudstone, slate. Yep, there's willow logs. There's wood here. Yeah, the dog counts as a citizen, and thus, if something comes nearby, it will see it. Oh, one more thing I wanted to do in Dwarf Fortress, or Therapist rather, is sort by highest mutable skill. Yeah, we've got some weaponsmiths now. Turn them off. So now we have only a handful of dwarves who aren't likely to become a... We still got some of these wieners, so we're still working our way through. We're trying to shift the... We're trying to get... We did this successfully for an armor smith already, where I just had everybody produce a little bit of armor, and eventually somebody had a strange mood to become an armor smith. And now I'm going to try that again with a weaponsmith. Okay. Do I have any nest boxes? Nope. So let's make some. Need 2 nest boxes, please. And I also want to make 6 iron chains. Okay, everything's going nicely. I'll make another pile for stone here. This one will be a small pile. But this one will only allow spherolite in case I ever get it in my head I want to make brass. Okay, so we got a lot of bone and antler. So we go to there and tell my boneman to get to work. I only have the 1 bone carver. Yep, good. let's make this a bedroom. But first, let's go here. Let's assign location, add location, in tavern, the Mechanical Orange. I love that movie. We'll also want to make that citizen and long-term residents only. Let's go ahead and go to the Mechanical Orange and set a tavern keeper. How about our chief medical dwarf? You're now also our tavern keeper. We'll build a few containers in here. Ooh, I have a artifact coffer apparently. One of the miners must have made that. But the reason I did that is so that I can come down here to these bedrooms here, and I'll assign location with L. And we'll set them to belong to the inn. And it means that the people who are staying here as monster slayers will have a place to sleep. Because they've just been hanging out in the temple the entire time. Let me take a look at our artifacts. We had the hematite hatch cover. The dwarves are massacring the dwarves. Yes, we've looked at this one. The mudstone coffer. It's just a coffer. Okay. And we had, last time we had Kongim Kisat, the suitor of emptiness, an iron buckler. Which is just a buckler. Okay. But it'll be very nice, and it should make our dining hall incredibly valuable. Here's our... Who are you? Our pump operator is telling a story. Okay, one thing I should begin doing is preparing for the mayor. We're going to have a mayor elected soon, and he will want a nice room. I'm also going to commission some green glass goblets. That'll be a lot of them. Okay, we got our wood collected. Elk bone figure of humans. Why is the amount of water in the moat increasing? I don't want that. Let's see if this helps. We're going to build a paved road. Out of... I should have other blocks. Slate blocks. Where is slate blocks? I'll need to do this eventually anyways. Although my dwarves will have to go forever to actually get there, so let's build trap lever. I'll build a lever here. And we'll attach that to this little bridge, which I will name Moat Access. I'm not sure how I would bucket it out. Bucketing out is much harder than bucketing in. So yeah, they're going to go all the way around. It might just be because it's raining that the amount of water is increasing. It might be able to accumulate on a paved road, but building like a floor or similar on one level of water will typically destroy it. The elves have come. So we'll see what happens. Let's build some nest boxes. Needs nest box. What happened? Okay, they made one of them and it's on its way to the place. Okay. Because I don't actually want my moat to fill up with water. I don't know why it is filling up with water. It has to be the rain. Unless... Now, this should be fine. None of these should count as an aquifer tile. Anyways, the elves are here. Let's open up the Traitor Gate. The dwarves are having a party. Let's trade all of our crafts. Although, speaking of, we will cut green glass. Should be here somewhere. There it is. Cut green glass on repeat. Let's build a nest box. Needs nest box. Okay, this must be on it. There must be taking it actually here. That's dumb. Anyways. They're building the road. I kind of want to build this road anyways because it'll prevent trees from growing down here. Okay, he's moving all of the logs off the road. Alright. Let's see what we can trade with the I've had this happen before. We had a mayor elected. Where the heck are all of my crafts? Okay. So we have a mayor. They're going to be very annoying about things. They want breastplates for us to make, and we'll do that. We'll make 2 iron breastplates, why not? We have 2 necromancers living in the fortress. When did that happen? I guess we just have necromancers in our civilization. One thing you tend to see in dwarves who are necromancers... Oh, she dreams of raising a family. That's weird. Usually it's like... Actually, that has me worried. Where do I look up what books I have? I'm gonna Google this. Dwarf Fortress, see what books I have. Quires and scrolls are found under the tools and the... Okay, so codices and tools are what I want. We're closest to codices. We have none. I need to make sure that... I hate going in here. To the advanced... I can't, like, see anything in the advanced mode. I need to see if I have any books that are bad. Okay, here's the books I have. They're in the bookcase. Well, these ones are reading. Because I have to make sure my books do not contain the secrets of life and death. Because if they contain the secrets of life and death, any dwarf that reads it will become a necromancer. The stock screen is, like, terrible sometimes when you're trying to do shit like this. Like, I want to look at this stuff. Oh, here we go. Okay, concerns the election of... Yeah. Concerns, It's an essay entitled, yep, concerns the storing, Okay, we have no books that are about the secrets of life and death. Ooh. Okay. What this does mean is I'm going to go to my necromancer dwarves, and I'm going to turn off refuse hauling for them, because I don't want them to turn the corpses they haul into zombies. Sometimes when you get a zombie, they'll be able to join your society. Like, sometimes being a zombie is, like, fine, and you can just take a dead dwarf and resurrect them. But then other times they become, like, violent and scary and disruptive. Okay, so let me look for these dwarves. Tekid and Degel. Turn off burial. Refuse hauling. Yeah, that should be good enough. And then Tekid. You're also going to turn off burial and refuse hauling. Lots of necromancers in this forge. Not only is our outpost liaison one, so is some of our actual dwarves. Anyways, let's continue doing this. Build a bed here. We're going to want a... We're actually going to cheat a little bit. We're going to remove this coffer. Actually, wait. We're going to put the legendary coffer into our mayor's office so that they will think that their office is very good. Needs 2 chests and a cabinet. Okay. But then later, when their stuff is more kitted out, I'll remove the good one and give them a crappy one, but they won't mind. We'll make 3 glass armor stands and 3 glass weapon racks. I don't remember a vampire in this fortress yet. Assign this to the mayor. The mayor also is a bookkeeper. Okay, our bookkeeper, okay. And is in our military. So, our mayor has... okay, here's one thing I'm going to do. Well, first, let's put in the amazing coffer. And now I want to find the mayor's room they're currently using, and then kick them out. Because I just gave them another room, and this will free up a room for other dwarves to use. There we go. So, free red. There we go. So, after they move this artifact coffer into the mayor's room, the mayor should be satisfied. Yeah, opulent throne room, grand bedroom, grand dining room, but they need other stuff. Let's cancel the bolts on some of these. So that maybe our armor smith will get to work and actually fulfill that mandate. Okay, building the road did seem to destroy some of the water. I also don't know why there are little spikes here. Do I need to remove these if I'm just going to build a road? It just counts as river. So yes, let's remove them. Well, our dog got scared off by something. It was probably a giant fly. Ooh, we caught a giant cave spider, though. Excellent. Ooh, ooh, I should do that. Also, yeah, the traders, before the traders leave. Yes, shit. Trade. I'll buy all their cages. Nothing very good. They have a panda, a black bear, which I'm not really interested in. I must just not have a lot of crafts. But the stuff I have is worth a lot. I'll have to tell them to start working on stone crafts. I'll buy your bayberries. Some of your clothing. Speaking of clothing, we're going to get a clothing industry set up soon. And you're going to love how we do it. Yeah, our more ethical works, including many, many skulls. Do you have much crap I care about? The elves usually have crappy things. Here, take all this shit. Maybe next year you'll bring something actually worthwhile. Yeah, let's build another road. Just to get rid of this stubborn water. I will remind everyone that this is purely a aesthetic thing right now. The paved roads will also keep trees from growing here, which if a tree grows in the moat, it can offer a little thing for people to jump over when they invade, which is annoying. It's not raining right now, though, somehow. Let's go ahead and claim all this. Still no idea why they've not brought in more wood. Let's turn on this lever so that they'll come pull this giant spider in, because I have plans for that giant spider. Okay, my glass makers aren't doing anything yet. Work on this now, please. We are going to make something like a goblin shooting gallery. Although for a while it's going to be a dwarven shooting gallery. Wonder why I just don't have any seeds. Let's go here. plenty of food. Although mostly have river spirits. Let's turn off brewing off everything but the bayberries, the cranberries. The raspberries, radish plants, ratweed. Yeah, all but this stuff. And we'll go here, and I'm going to jack up my... Oh, it's already jacked up. I'll keep them from making river spirits, at least. Let's also go to my loom. And weave cloth. Plant cloth. 25 to 40. So I have a lot of rope weeds, which we will use to make cloth. Okay. Don't have open rack yet. What is up with this? What is my glassmith doing? Glassmaker, what is it are you doing? My glassmakers are store item and stockpile. Okay, construct iron. Okay. And one of them is in the military. So that kind of explains that. Let's... Okay, so almost done prepping weaponsmiths. Oh, one thing I should do is go to the... Actually... Okay. Let's go to the clarity of axes. I forgot to give a spear to our boy Moma's. So let's go to you. If you go to E to equip... Well, for one, I never assigned a uniform. So, assign uniform. Assign everybody into Axe Squad. But then we can go to equip. We can go to Moma's and turn off Iron Battle Axe and give them... and tell them to use an iron... Oh, come on. There we go. Tell them to use... This metal, please. Tell them to use an iron spear instead. So they've probably just been training in wrestling, which isn't worthless. We've seen many dwarves bite each other. And somebody had a baby. How nice. Okay. Time for a couple different disparate things I basically need to do. I don't have a good place. So I can't really dig on this level, because the sand from this level will cause it to be nasty. I want to dig my pit somewhere. I guess I would have to dig my pit here. that's messy. I want it to be clean. So we're going to dig a pit. But it's going to have to be messy. Damn, I hate when I have to be messy. Okay. So I'm making a pit, and the purpose of this pit will be to dispose of monsters. Okay, this might actually work out as being just fine. I'll explain what I'm doing after I have it carved out. So, let's say I have some monsters I want to get rid of, and they would be most useful as a way for my Marks dwarves and melee dwarves to get some much needed killing experience. Actually, no. Just the center one. Well, such a thing is possible. Actually, I don't want these ones. I just want that, so I can put double doors. And for that purpose, I want a room to store caged animals. And in this room, there are going to be 16 hatches. So that every square in the room is directly adjacent to a hatch. So the monsters will be stored in this room. And each of these hatches will be adjacent to every square that a monster is going to be stored. So when I command those creatures to be thrown into a pit, they will not be dragged. They will instantly be removed from their cage and instantly thrown in the hole, where they will fall. They will fall one level and then land here, where they'll have nowhere to go. But these walls here are going to have fortifications carved into them, so that I can station Marks dwarves up here and down here to fire upon the hapless creature which I have thrown into the pit. And then after they are dead, I can open the door, probably a gate right here, which will allow my people to go in there, pull out the useful materials, or else just keep the shit in there from rotting and stinking up the place. I can also engage in gladiatorial combat with this kind of pit. And that is, in fact, the ultimate destiny of our mole, is the mole is going to be thrown in there and made a fool of, basically. Nest boxes. Needs nest box. I mean, I know I have nest boxes. What the hell? If I go to stocks, tools, mudstone nest boxes. I have 4 of them. Oh, they're in here. Did I not make nest boxes? Oh, it's outside. It's still in the trade caravan. I might have... Actually, I know what happened. I traded them away. Well, that's fine. I still made money. So we'll make some glass nest boxes this time. What are these people doing? Ah, they're getting marble. I see. They have no fear. I looked up why this happened, by the way, and it's because there's no water on this level. So it can't have any plant life, which is why there's water on here, which is why there's plant life. It was very weird. And this guy's hard at work building a dirt road here. Okay. Mostly got rid of the water. Let's go ahead and shut off these slate blocks that I have on repeat. So we caught a giant cave spider. Giant cave spider is going to be in a similar location, but a different purpose. I gotta remember how to build this. I think I want like a square. Not that big. This is probably big enough. Then something like this. I can shave off this, definitely. This is about what I want. Yeah, here's what I want. And this is going to have to be accessible, but not for... Okay, we're going to dig one here. Another here. Okay, so these are actually going to be... dug out. Although I want these one... No, these ones can still be smoothed from here. Okay. And here I want a hatch here, right? I think I want to... So we're going to be building a silk machine out of this spider. Actually, I don't need it to be like that. It's just... something like this. Something like this. This might not come to fruition for a while. I could try flooding the caverns to see what that would get me. Oh. Oh, please get captured. No, 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 no. Go into my cages. Oh, I want a breeding pair of jabberers so bad. No, don't run away. Go attack my dog. Oh, there's only one jabberer. Ah, maybe I'll catch it. Maybe I won't. Jabberers are one of the only cavern creatures that can be trained for war. They'd actually be better than the grizzly bears I'm planning on using. I think this water is just forming because it's on a river tile and it's formed and it's getting rained on, so who knows what it's doing. Let's go ahead and close access off to here and see if I can finally build some damn nest boxes. Okay, here we go. We're also going to build a restraint next to this nest box. And I'll have to quickly come here to my food stockpile and turn off elkbird eggs. And this elkbird okay. Stray elkbird tamed. We're going to assign you to this chain. And here's where we're going to trick this elkbird. There we go. So, there's a problem with breeding elkbirds. Elkbirds are pasture animals, but they need a nest box to lay eggs in and to raise those eggs in. However, they will stay in their nest boxes until they starve, rather than abandon their eggs. How that works in nature, I don't know. But there's a workaround for it. You see, pasture animals that are assigned to chains will have I believe dwarves with the animal caretaker skill enabled bring food to them. That might be how emperor penguins do it, but at least they stockpile food. And they swapped them out. Elkbirds, no idea how they evolutionarily survive. But this elkbird is tied to a chain, which means people will come and feed it. And that means that hopefully it should survive its egg. Egg. Weapon rack. Armor stand. Now my mayor will finally be happy. Because he has a nice little room. I'm saying he, but it might well be a woman. I don't actually know. Atir Lickus Stag? I don't know. Don't really care either. I set this hospital up, but... Warm loan... Stone? Oh. Ha. Dumbasses. Yes, dig it. It's not... Oh, here's the dwarves. Okay. My stupid merchants. I'm gonna cut off access so they don't get killed by jabberers. Yes, I know there's warm stone. So, the stupid elves are attempting to leave my fortress through the caverns, but now they won't be able to. Yes, I know. There's hot stone here, but it doesn't matter. It's just warm. It's pleasant. You'll like it. Sigh. Yeah, they should like it. Why don't you love it? Migrants. Anyways, time to get a dump going. Because here is our new pile for animals. And this animal pile does not accept empty cages, and our old animal pile now only accepts empty cages. I'm also going to need 16 hatch covers. A petition. Somebody want orb faith. The Scaly Coven has many worshippers in orb faiths. We'll set about doing that. Please mine this out. Channel it out, rather. I accidentally had you mine it out, but you need to channel it. Again, these doors need to be set as not pet passable. And I also want to build some cage traps right here. And that'll make it difficult for critters to escape. I also want to smooth out this stone. Not dig it out. That would be a problem. I want to smooth it out. As we are going to be carving fortifications here. Same down here. I want to remove those ramps. So, we're going to go build G for a bridge. And we need to build a bridge here. And we'll build it out of the many, many slate blocks we have. I also want to smooth out that and all of these. So what we're going to do, since it's going to be a while before this plan actually gets into the running, is I'm going to stick a hatch here and be able to lock this hatch off. And we're going to build a fortification here, and we're going to build a spider cage here, and then a cage trap like up here above a locked door, so that we can re-catch our spider. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a military dwarf and tell them to stand here. The spider will see the military dwarf and begin shooting its webs through this fortification at the dwarf. The dwarf will become encased in webs. But the spider will also miss a lot, and the missed webs will fire through these fortifications onto this bridge, which will then be opened to drop onto this bridge to allow the webs to stack up, and then dropped again down here to allow it to be collected. The reason you let it fall once and then twice is you want the webs to stack here, and then you want to be able to safely drop it here. You don't want to drop the web, or else it can entangle and harm people, I think. But this kind of lets you control when you let your web out. And then we'll build a loom here, set to collect webs, and we'll collect a bunch of spider webs and get lots of free spider silk. So we're going to build a spider machine. And I think I also want to build some more barracks down here. I should probably build them down one level, because these are going to be Mark's Dwarf barracks. Which means I want them here. Because I want to be able to dig trenches to collect my arrows back with. So we've got a nice little bit of projects going on. Let's give a quick glance over to Dwarf Therapist. Sort by highest mutable skill. So the only people still left to be trained off crappy armorers are one person who's in the military and hasn't had an opportunity to, and this person who I think is also in the military but now has an opportunity to. So we mostly have people who can become... Oh, we had migrants. That's right. Let's take a look at our migrants. Anybody good? A bad carpenter. I could probably just turn off my bad carpenters, because I have good carpenters. Bad masons, but that's fine. So, I'm going to turn hunting off of you. Butchery, bone carver, a good leather worker. That's good. I basically don't have any good leather workers, but now I have a excellent one. That's good. Nothing else particularly sticking out. Do I have a good clothes maker? Nope. We have some good weavers, but that doesn't really matter. We have some strand extractors, which won't matter for a long time. But our new migrants don't offer a whole lot. We have a good mechanic, and a good mechanic is always useful. It's going to turn architecture on for everybody. And we're up to 75 dwarves, which means I need to start filling out bedrooms. So we'll end the stream with that. Let's go here. Start getting some more bolts made. And begin getting more beds built. And I may, in fact, need to go dig out some more bedrooms. Because these bedrooms are pretty luxurious, but not everybody needs a luxurious bedroom. I put one of those beds in a weird spot. I may or may not do fractal bedrooms again. I may just... I probably won't just do this again. I also do need to get a temple set up, which will probably be here. Let me take a look at Dwarf Therapist again. Vertical apartment blocks. That's a fine way of doing it. I don't have enough good stone detailers, so let's go to highest mutable skill and go to skills that are too high. Like this jerk. Bowyers, you can become these. Carpenters. The bad carpenters are now stone detailers. My crappy leather worker? Nope, you're a stone detailer now. Metal crafters, also stone detailers. You're a miner. Well, you're an ex-miner. Well, in your off time, you're also a stone detailer. And a tanner. Also a stone detailer. There we go. The reason I'm doing this is because inexplicably Stone Detailer is the highest immutable skill, but I don't think that it's able to Strange Mood. So I don't want to put it onto a person who can become who I can trick into being a weapon or armor smith. But having this many stone detailers should speed up my detail work, and then I can give my best stone detailer the job of actually doing the engravings. Let's go ahead and... actually, no. We'll set one of these into being this place is now a meeting area. Assign, add location, temple. I don't remember... oh, that was a mistake. I accepted the petition, but didn't remember what its name was. The Scaly Coven. You. And then this. You can be Craft Guild Hall for a Farmer Guild. Where's my other guild at? Well, there's an established guild, but I don't think I ever built them a guild hall. Whoops. Well, they're gonna get it now. And it's going to be hard to get these up to weight. Just exit off this crap for now. Let's go ahead and just tell them to stop smoothing out this stone. I have other stone I need them to smooth. Okay. We need to get bedrooms set up, though. How many bedrooms is this? It's not the most efficient, but we've got 6, 12, 14, 16, 32, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22 minus 1, 21. 42 plus 36. 58. It's gotta be more than that. Nope, that's no, 40. 30, 22, 78, I think. Rough math. I guessed at the end. That should be enough. So this is 21. That's 42. 72. 78. Yeah. Somebody brought their stupid animal here to the fortress. I don't care about your stupid animal. Hey, what happened to all my rope weeds? I have 160 of them. 166 of them. Am I this dumb? A Cyclops has come. Okay. This should be simple. What we're going to do here. Make sure all of our gates are set. I guess I'll turn inside on to make everybody come inside. Did I not tell them to... I didn't put that on anything. Well, our dog's gonna die. I told them to pull the gate. Well, men. Okay, the gate's been pulled. My dog's probably going to die. I can cancel that order. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw together some cage traps. No idea what happened to that dog. But once these cage traps are loaded, what I can do is open the trader gate up. And we'll go ahead and station the Clarity of Axes here. And tell everybody to come inside, so they don't just walk out like a... Oh, they're fighting the ogre. Well, we killed it. Oh, did we not suffer any injuries? Oh, the Human Lord Consort helped in. Okay, let's read the trip report from this. Yeah, I was going to try to catch the Cyclops, because Cyclopses could just get caught in cage traps. Ooh. The Cyclops stabs the wrestler in the right lower leg with her Osptastro. The Cyclops had a named weapon. The wrestler misses the Cyclops. So these were just random Yahoo recruits who haven't been training very long with normal iron equipment, not really with any quality levels. I also don't know if I remember to make shields or not. I guess one quick look at Dwarf Therapist will tell me, probably. Apparently they had shields. Okay. The Cyclops stabs the spear dwarf in the upper body with her Osp Testro, bruising the muscle and bruising the lung through the pigtail cloak. Okay. Looks like Osp Testro is a spear. Looks pretty ghastly. The spear dwarf stabs the Cyclops in the right lower leg with the iron spear, tearing the muscle. Lots of fighting. Let's see what actually happened. Ah, here's what happened. The Cyclops fought for a while and then passed out from exhaustion. And then all of the dwarves teamed up and began chopping. Several pages of chopping. And then finally, the militia commander hacks the Cyclops in the head with his iron battle axe, tearing apart the fat. The neck twists the neck. So, at some point... Oh, the spear dwarf stabs the Cyclops in the head with his iron spear, tearing apart the muscle and fracturing the skull. So, one thing we're going to want to do, quickly, is get some beds built. Build some tables. Build some coffers. And I'm going to need to go to the mechanics workshop and make some traction benches. Because I have a hospital. So let's go ahead and get the main gate open. Let's go ahead and cancel these beds. So that first priority beds goes to the hospital. Because I do have an injured dwarf. And the dwarves in the dining hall are partying. So let's go ahead and look at this dwarf. Our militia commander. So, okay, her leg was cut or his leg was cut open. And ability to grasp somewhat reduced. Don't tell me I have a zombie clops. The Cyclops should be getting hauled to the corpse pile. Oh. Not because... It weren't because... What was that artifact, though? Osp Testro, the Fountains of Poetry, a bronze spear. This is a bronze spear. It is encrusted with cushion stoneware. Is this actually an artifact, or is it just a named spear? It has 8 kills. Yeah, basic value 170. So I think that's just a named spear. Uxner, though. What is Uxner? A large steel greaves. Well, that'll be worth money at least. Anyways, let's get that finally set up. Just do a little bit of extra caging around here. We're gonna have to build an awning over our moat if it keeps raining. Well, I've heavily reduced the amount of water in the moat. And I managed to get a hospital thrown together very quickly. Okay, well that was exciting. Traction bench, please. It's kind of a ramshackle hospital. There's our militia commander. How you doing, Irvad? Okay, you'll be good in no time, Irvad. Why are they not processing my rope weeds? So I have a lot of rope weeds. They should be processing them, but they aren't. Well, if I can't do it with plant cloth, I'll eventually be able to do it with silk. I'll plant some fortifications. And I think that is a fine place to end it. The clown music begins as our adventure today ends. We got a lot accomplished today. We're getting our military set up, and our military proved themselves quite handedly. One of our people killed a cyclops. And everybody in our military is doing fine. Who actually got the kill on the cyclops? It doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say who killed the cyclops. Well, yeah, either our commander or our spear dwarf got the last hit. So our untested dwarves accidentally engaged a cyclops and handedly killed it by exhausting it and then clubbing it in the head with axes until it died. We have some mysteries, such as why the flip are my dwarves not hauling wood into the wood pile, and why my dwarves won't process my rope weeds. But that's neither here nor there. Well, it actually is here and there. Let's see if I can't solve that right now. So, this one gets nothing except for rope weeds. And this one, actually, this one gets nothing but rope weeds. Forbid everything else. And we'll give that to you. And this file will not accept rope weeds. And we'll cancel that order. Labor restrictions, only plant processing. Okay, and then maybe that will do something. Anyways, we got some bedrooms set up. Let's actually set these up so that people can use them. We have a dormitory set up, so even if I don't get, people have a place to sleep at least. So we had a Cyclops attack, and that went much better than it could have. If that were an Etten, I think it would be a little more threatening, but it wasn't an Etten, it was a Cyclops. It also was not a were creature, which also would have been upsetting to deal with. So, our goal now is to get a weaponsmith up and trained. Yeah, they're battle tested now. So we'll take a look at Dwarf Therapist. Turn off these weaponsmiths. So I have a passable weaponsmith. Not a good one, but a passable one. A talented one. And Vutok Nurmakatten is probably who's going to be making our weapons. But I want to at least get these people made into trainee weaponsmiths. Because I want to get Mark's Dwarfs going. And one thing I probably should do to solve one of my problems is to find a good landing zone. This'll work. So if I go... That doesn't quite work. So this weird honeycomb pattern, the purpose of it is to... let's just do that. I want to put cage traps here to force things to walk over those cage traps. So I can start cutting some mushroom trees down, because there's not a lot of trees on our map. Anyways, a lot of people are thirsty. We have plenty of drinks, including sewer brew! So that's going to be it for now. Thanks for joining, everybody. Next time, we'll be getting Mark's Dwarves set up. Because, oh, and before I forget, we had a little bit of a problem because I never actually connected that lever to my moat, and that almost caused problems. But, for now, that's going to be all. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Next time, Mark's Dwarves. Exploring Caverns 1. Weapon training. And getting our haul nice and smoothed out. But for now, good night.